So you will come in handy for us. Okay, so here we are, Accelerated Algebra 2, Section 1-3, Operations with Real Numbers. All right. So for those of us at home just tuning in, we are trying out something that hopefully will provide some comic relief for all of us. So we're going to yell as best we can. Now you all, it's on film, so you all have to yell, okay, when you ask your questions. All right, so Section 1-3, Operations with Real Numbers. Today we're talking about, or we're incorporating absolute value. Again, how many people remember what absolute value is? If so, can somebody define what absolute value is? Now, remember, you have to yell, so unless you're prepared to yell, don't raise your hand. Okay, Stephanie, go ahead.
It's the number of places on a line the number is away from 0.
Good. Okay, so distance away from 0? Good. Distance away from 0. So if you guys want, after we're done here, we can watch the video back and see if we can hear each other, okay? Distance from 0. Now, can we have a negative distance? Can I walk negative 15 feet? Does that work? No. So, absolute value is always what? Positive. Okay. Another thing that we want to review is additive inverse. Okay, so think of additive inverse as a number or a term that you can add to another one to zero everything out. So in other words, the additive inverse of 15 is negative 15, because 15 plus negative 15 is 0. Zeroes it out. So it's like the same number, opposite sign. Okay? Okay, same number, opposite sign. So we are literally, this is going to be a really short, easy lesson, at least I hope. All right, so let's, an example would be like negative 7 and positive 7. Those are additive inverses of one another. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going on to examples. We want to evaluate. You all are going to love how easy this is. Okay, so evaluate the absolute value of negative 5. So, who can tell me what the absolute value of negative 5 is? Chaz, yell it.
5.
That's good, 5. Okay, number 2, negative absolute value of negative 7. Raise your hand if you can tell me what negative absolute value of negative 7 is. Make sure you're prepared to yell. Ashley.
Negative 7.
That's good. Nicely done. Okay. Then, okay, here we go. The absolute value of negative 7 times the absolute value of negative 2 minus 3. Well, I'm sorry, what's that? Question? Okay. The absolute value of negative 7 times the absolute value of negative 2 minus 3. All right. So, raise your hand if you can tell me how to start this problem. I won't call on you unless you want me to, but raise your hand if you can tell me how to start this. That's, yes, the absolute value of negative 7 times the absolute value of negative 2 minus 3. So only one of us can tell me how to start this. Or, okay, let's do it this way. Okay, we have people at home. We have a couple of people raising their hands. Okay, so how many people can tell me something about this problem? Anything. I won't call on you. I promise. I won't call on you. Okay, now we have more hands. Okay, so keep your hand raised if you want to tell me one thing about this problem. Anything that you can think of. Is it Ashley, right? Go for it. Good. And what is it that allows you to do that? So the absolute value? Right, good. So the absolute value of negative 7 is 7, and the absolute value of negative 2 is 2, and then minus 3. I just realized I was yelling. The mic is right here. I don't need to yell. You guys all need to yell, not me. Okay. So 7 times 2 is what? 14, and 14 minus 3 is? 11. Excellent. All right, questions on this? Super easy, right? Am I going too slow? Too fast? Okay. All right, next, add and subtract. Add or subtract, or a combination of the two. All right, 15 plus negative 11. So 15 plus negative 11. Everybody show me on your fingers what you think the value of 15 plus negative 11 is. Okay, good. So a lot of people are holding up 4s. That's good. So how many people agree that 15 plus negative 11 is the same thing as 15 minus 11? Yeah. Okay, good. So it's 4. All right, how about next one? 10 plus, let's see, negative 8 plus, I'm going to continue on the next line, negative 6 minus negative 1. Let's move this up. Okay, so we have 10 plus negative 8 plus negative 6. Whoop, that's not a plus, that's a minus negative 1. So 10, let me read that again. 10 plus negative 8 plus negative 6 minus negative 1. I always think with this type of problem, it's easier to get rid of all these excessive parentheses first, but you can approach it in whatever way you would like. So if I'm going to get rid of the parentheses first, what would the next line of this look like? Okay, Jared, is that your name? Ah.
Maybe 10 minus 8 minus 6 plus 1.
Excellent. Nicely done. Whoop, that's a minus 8. Okay, so now we can go left to right. 10 minus 8 is 2 minus 6 is negative 4, and negative 4 plus 1 is perfect. Do we need to do another one of these, or are you guys good? Good. Okay, let's move on then. Okay, can I move this paper? Do we all have it? Yes? Okay. All right, so here we are next. Multiplying and dividing. So Crystal, our lovely TA, is in pre-calculus this year. How is pre-calculus going?
We're reviewing exactly what
Oh, look at that, everybody. Comes in handy. We're reviewing exactly what we're reviewing here in pre-calculus. Yay, that's good to know. Okay, negative 2/3 times 6/5. So negative 2/3 times 6/5. So some of these I'm putting on here so you guys can see. We might look at these and go, okay, are these trick questions? They are so easy, they should be trick questions. They're not. Just getting practice again. All right, so what do I do in this problem? A couple of different ways we can go about this, but does anyone have one way that they can volunteer to do this? Josephine? We don't have to do additive inverse. Are you suggesting maybe this piece? 6 and 3, reducing those? Is that what you were? Yeah, I would say that's a good way of starting this. You could either multiply everything straight across first and then reduce, or reduce first. So, 6 divided by 3, what does that reduce to? 2. 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. And now, whoops. Now if we multiply straight across, we end up with what? Negative 4 over 5. Now, some of us might have preferred to multiply first. Multiply first and then reduce, you can do that too. Okay? Again, this is not a trick question. I realize it kind of looks like it. So for our viewers at home, a lot of us are looking at the camera like, okay, so what do we do in this problem? I think I've stumped everybody. That's a negative 54/3. Okay, Lydia. Ah, okay. Well, let me ask a question. If I put parentheses around it, does it make it the same thing, or is it different, or what? Well, let me ask this. A negative times a negative is a what? Okay. Okay, questions on that? Now, okay, yeah, so I get, you don't want to apply something like this to both the numerator and the denominator. You only do it to one or the other, okay? Otherwise, you're double accounting for it, or double dipping or something. You don't want to do that. Okay. How are we doing on questions? Don't you love how easy it starts out? It stays this easy the whole way through, I promise. Okay, negative 4 squared. So, negative 4 squared. What do we think? Everybody yell it out. What do you think this is? What does it come out to?
16.
16, good. Number 2, negative 1 to the 5th power. So we have two options here. It's either positive 1 or negative 1. Raise your hand if you think it's positive 1. Negative 1? Who can explain why it's negative 1? Do you want to or no? Okay, go ahead, Michael.
It would be positive 1 if negative 1 was multiplied to itself an even amount of times to cancel out the negative.
Good.
But since it's an odd number, it stays.
Perfect. So because it's an odd exponent, you're multiplying it by itself an odd number of times, which means you're going to end up with a positive times a negative in the end, which means it's a negative. But if it was negative 1 to the 6th, then would it be positive 1 or negative 1? Positive 1. Okay, do we need to do another one of these? Or do you, okay. We have one last one and then we're done. Would you guys like to have a quiz today? On this stuff? That's good, yes. It makes your grade go up.
No.
Okay, just think about it. Think about it. We don't have to answer right now. Just think about it. Okay, here we go. I have a gift for all of you today. It is a word problem. I know you all love word problems dearly. Ammonia boils at negative 33 degrees Celsius and melts at negative 75. Degrees Celsius. Find the difference between the temperatures. Whoop, sorry about that. There you go. So find the difference between the temperatures. Again, not a trick question. If you start at negative 33 degrees and you go to negative 75 degrees, what is the difference? Stephanie?
108 degrees.
Okay, that's good if it's a positive. Like if one was positive 33 and one was negative, but they're both negative. So try to imagine a number line and they're both on the negative side. Or another way, they're both on the positive side. Chaz?
Negative
42, good. Okay, so since it's only asking for the difference, you don't necessarily need to have it be negative. Okay, so just 42 degrees works. So you can do negative 33 degrees minus negative 75. Okay? All right, questions on any of this? Wasn't it awesome how short and easy that was? It's over. You guys get to work on homework now. Okay, so we have now. Let's make sure you guys can see. All right, did we think about the quiz at all?
Yes.
And what did we decide?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so homework 2, page 12, written exercises, 4 to 80, multiples of 4. Make sure you're doing the written exercises, not classroom. How many people got kind of messed up on that yesterday? Anybody? All right, we'll stop this now.